I must say, very pleasant to be talking about diamonds in a situation in which the demand for diamonds is going back up, both in the two major markets for diamonds, China and in the USA, and the supply is down. And particularly when we have two very good projects, one a mining project, which contains pink diamonds as well as the ordinary diamonds. And pink diamonds, of course, are particularly scarce and attractive. And as well as that, we have an exploration project in what we think will become a new diamond mining province. And I think we have pole position there and getting some very encouraging results. So I'd like, as chairman of the company, just to say a few words about that this evening, and thank you for your attendance. So if we move on, those, by the way, are Karelian diamonds, and you can see the very nice quality of them, and you can see some of them are indeed pink diamonds. So let's move on with the disclaimer, which is appropriate. And of course, exploration is risky. We've been very fortunate in our successes in exploration, but nonetheless, there is, of course, always a risk, and this is an appropriate disclaimer to show you. So the main projects, and these main projects are the development of the LAHTOJOKI diamond deposit and our diamond exploration program in Finland. So let's look at these. LAHTOJOKI diamond deposit, we've already done a preliminary economic assessment on it based on data and reports by previous operators. And our assessment with relation to the PEA is that mining development should proceed. And indeed, we're at an advanced stage with the Finnish mining authorities to receive a full mining permit. It's been held up a little by the COVID process, but we look forward to receiving our permit. As I have mentioned, one particular attraction of our analysis of the data and examination is that the deposit contains a significant percentage, probably about 3%, possibly a little bit more, of pink diamonds, and indeed of certain other colored diamonds. And these, of course, could very considerably increase profitability. The diamond mine, when developed, will in fact be outside Russia the first diamond mine in Europe, and that also will have considerable advantages, as indeed the Canadians have shown in their mines. So these are now some of the diamonds. Again, they're high quality, gem quality diamonds. So we're very pleased with the diamond quality of them. And this is PEA, just the highlights of them. 2.1 million carats recoverable, a gross value of something over 200 million. As I mentioned, mining operation is already recommended, and we'll be looking at something like 5.5 million tons at about 40 carats per 100 ton. We're thinking at present of a 9-year mine life with payback in year 2, quite a good IRR of 55% and an NPV at 8% of $39 million. And this is the form of very simple pit which will be proposed. And of course, one of the attractions of diamond mining is that environmentally it's very friendly. So we look forward to proceeding with it, and I think we're coming into development, into the market at just the right sort of time. This is a couple of photographs showing some of the pink diamonds, and as you can see, they're very attractive diamonds. They have got all the various characteristics of color and of clarity that you would wish to have in diamonds, and that of course could be very beneficial from the point of view of the price of the diamonds in the market. Just a few words on pink diamonds and why they're so important. They're very highly sought. Over the last 5 years, They've been increasing in price by about 10% each year. They're extremely scarce. In fact, one can say that typically pink diamonds command prices up to 20 times that of colorless diamonds. They really are quite expensive and steadily increasing in value and in demand. And the very major feature in relation to that is that the very large mine operated by Rio Tinto in Argyle, the Argyle mine, in Western Australia, it has recently closed. And not only was it a very major producer of diamonds generally, which again has greatly reduced the overall supply of diamonds, but it produced perhaps 90% of the pink diamonds, of the world production of pink diamonds. So that makes a huge difference to the supply situation, both for diamonds generally and in particular for pink diamonds. And to give you some idea of the significance financially of pink diamonds, the Argyle mine, one of the largest in the world, with 5% pink diamonds, 5%, nonetheless, that 5% produced 50% of the revenue of the mine. So diamonds are really quite significant in financial terms when you're thinking about developing a diamond mine. So we're very pleased to have, we believe, 3%. We possibly have more percent. We also have some other very good diamonds, green diamonds, for example, in the LAHTOJOKI deposit. We've done, or to be precise, First Equity Limited, who are Karelian's brokers. They looked at our 2017 PEA, and they assumed 3% recovered diamonds at LAHTOJOKI, that 3% of the diamonds will be pink. And they assumed a very conservative price of 10 times that of colorless diamonds. As I say, it's often up to 20 times that. But using these figures, a non-risked NPV at LAHTOJOKI came to $69 million, a 77% increase on the 2017 figures that we had been looking at of $39 million. If you bring in the risk factors, factoring in exploration, financing, discovery risks, and so on, at an NPV of 8, that computes to US dollars 33 million. And in relation to us, would compute to a share price of 35p. It's a very considerable increase in our present share price. So we look forward very much to this and to developing it. Mining in Finland, by the way, just to say a few words about it, the infrastructure is excellent. We have direct access by road. One can get into a car and literally drive in as far as the deposit. Other advantages of Finland is, of course, it has a great mining tradition. You've got ready availability of power, skilled workforce, advanced technical and logistical services. So all these factors contribute to a very low expected capital costs due to its location in an area with this excellent infrastructure, engineering, logistic services. We've even got a bus stop on the road nearby the mine. So it's a very, very, very good, very open area, excellent situation. And you may say, well, that's perhaps to be expected in Finland. Well, as I say, this will be the first diamond mine in Europe, outside those in Russia. And diamond mining is also very sustainable, so you don't have the environmental concerns that you might have with other mining. But if we contrast it with the other diamond deposits at somewhat similar stage of development, in other words, advanced diamond projects. For example, one excellent deposit in Canada, the Untitled project. It's in northern Canada. And for 9 months of the year, your only way of getting at it is by helicopter. Access is limited to ice-free shipping, which lasts for about 3 months in the year. And as you can imagine, excellent people, doing a very good job, but nonetheless, that has implications not only for CapEx, but it's implications for your operating costs. You have to have, for example, fuel on site to keep you going for that entire 9 months. You can't get people in and out. You have to bring them by helicopter or whatever. So the operating costs and the capital costs can be very daunting in the more usual, shall we say, North American, Canadian diamond locations. We've been there ourselves and by invitation and seen some of these mines. People think perhaps Australia, well, it'd be much easier there. If you've ever been to Australia and gone a few hundred miles into the outback, you realize there's not a great deal of infrastructure there either. Now, you do have a situation in Southern Africa, particularly where there's a more advanced and better infrastructure and so on, but at the same time, it's nowhere near as competitive as the situation that we see in Finland. So we look forward to development there of the LAHTOJOKI deposit. You may be aware of the fact, probably are, that kimberlites tend to occur in clusters. Where you find one, you're very likely to find another. And around the LAHTOJOKI deposit to the south of it, our exploration chaps have come across boulders which cannot be derived from the LAHTOJOKI kimberlite. So we'll be looking there. We've got one exploration permit already. We're looking for another one to see if by any chance there is an additional kimberlite, a diamondiferous one, close to LAHTOJOKI. So that forms part of our round mine exploration program. But over and beyond that, we have a very promising, very exciting program of exploration going on in the KUHMO area of Finland. That's over towards the Russian border. If we look at this little illustration here, you can see the Karelian Craton boundary on it. You can see where LAHTOJOKI is located, our exploration area in KUHMO on the Russian border. And you also see there the Russian mines, Lomonosov and Grib. And these are world-class diamond deposits which are now in production. And we certainly don't see any reason why within the Karelian Craton boundary there couldn't be similar, very large-sized deposits. We already see 3 deposits, the 2 big ones, Lomonosov and Grib on the Russian side, and our own LAHTOJOKI deposit on the Finnish side. So we have a very active exploration program, which has been going on for quite some time. We're now beginning to get some very nice results indeed, which are most exciting and most encouraging. And we believe that indeed the KUHMO province in due course will become very much a new diamond province. In our own exploration there, we've had a number of successes already, and in fact they've begun to sort of accumulate. One particular one is the discovery of a green diamond in a till sample. And that's, by the way, the best indicator of all. You can look at all sorts of diamond kimberlite indicator minerals, but the best of the lot is to actually find a diamond, and it's a very rare thing, as I'll come to in a moment. We've also discovered previously unknown kimberlite body at RIIHIVAARA near KUHMO. We've demonstrated that the SEITAPERA kimberlite body, it was discovered some years ago by Ashton, is at 6.9 hectares, the largest kimberlite identified to date in Finland. And one of the importances of that, apart from the attraction of SEITAPERA itself, is the fact that it indicates that in Finland, as I just mentioned a few moments ago, you could have very large kimberlite deposits, as you see on the Russian side of the border at Lomonosov and in the Grib pipe. As well as that, our exploration team have discovered over 20 additional kimberlite anomalies, which we'll be looking at and considering again in the KUHMO region of Finland. So it's very exciting. This is the green diamond, by the way. in a till sample. It was discovered in anomaly number 5. It's a very nice little diamond, a sparkling clear crystal, clean faces. It's obviously greenish in color, diameter 0.8 of a millimeter. And to put it in context, the rarity and the significance of such a discovery is that the ODM laboratory in Canada, which is perhaps the leading laboratory in the world, certainly one of the most leading laboratories for the analysis of diamond exploration samples, it has processed more than 50,000 till samples. And of those, it has recovered less than 10 naturally occurring diamonds. And our green diamond is one of those 10. So it's a very significant and very rare event in exploration. And as I say, it's the best possible indicator that you can have that you're somewhere near diamonds when you actually find one. In addition to work on the ground, and at the end of the day, you have to have boots on the ground. We've discovered this and always emphasized it in all the discoveries that we've made in Ireland and in Canada and elsewhere, that at the end of the day, you get down in boots, and our exploration team do that. But nonetheless, as well as looking at things in a different way, at a slightly different angle, which is probably why we've had such success in exploration. And by the way, it's not just pure work, you have to have luck as well, and we have been very lucky. But nonetheless, you also must think of, well, what ways will give us an additional advantage? One of my colleagues on the board, Howard Bird, who has a tremendous reputation and record in diamond exploration and diamond discovery, brought our attention to the fact that there are now methods for doing geophysics other than just simply slogging through the ground for ground geophysics. And ground geophysics is particularly important for the discovery of kimberlites, of diamondiferous kimberlites. You're looking, or the geophysicists and geologists are looking for magnetic abnormalities. And what we have done now, and it's one of the first times it's been done in Europe, there are other examples, but there are not many, and we'll certainly be doing a lot more of this. As we've done a very detailed, high-resolution magnetic unmanned aerial vehicle, or UAV survey, and we were able to do 82 flight lines, totaling 250 kilometers over the KUHMO green target area. We've got an entire grid there of 70-odd lines from east to west, and then a smaller number, 9 lines running north to south. The east-west line has been close together, 35 meters, and the north-south one's 350 meters. And we were able to do that in less than 2 days. This comprehensive was done on our behalf, and it's given us an enormous amount of very, very useful, very, very detailed information over the Anomaly 5 area, which we're now our geophysics friends are busily examining and comparing and working on, combining it also with the higher aerial aeromagnetic data, which we already had from much higher levels. And to put this in context, for our exploration teams to go out and do a ground geophysical survey, first of all, there'd be areas they wouldn't be able to do. You can't do a ground survey on foot across a lake or through a swamp. Whereas, of course, the drone with the magnetometer attached to it can do that sort of thing. No, there are other areas which are very difficult. They're also very slow, so it's very difficult, even with the very best of people, most determined geologists taking greatest effort to conduct the sort of survey that we've now been able to take advantage of in a couple of days. It would have taken about perhaps 6 weeks or so for our team to do it on the ground. And as I say, there have been areas which they just wouldn't have been able to approach. So we're certainly going to be using this resolution. We're busily examining the very helpful data from it, and we'll be using it on other targets, including around LAHTOJOKI, as I was mentioning a little bit earlier on. So it's a very exciting advance in relation to exploration. We've also discovered at RIIHIVAARA a new kimberlite body, and indicator mineral analysis indicates it's likely to be diamondiferous, and it's over 350 meters in strike length and a width up to 2. So we'll be looking forward to looking at it further. The SEITAPERA diamondiferous kimberlite, as I say, we've been able to demonstrate that it's 6.9 hectares in size, which makes it the largest known kimberlite in Finland and gives us further great encouragement as to the potential of Finland, in particular the KUHMO province. Now, you also, as I say, in exploration, you must always be looking and seeing a different angle if you can. That's the way that you may well be successful. And in Ireland, which we certainly wouldn't think of as being in any way diamondiferous, we have, of course, made world-class base metals discoveries. We discovered the Galmoy ore bodies, and we've now discovered a very large gold trend. But we wouldn't think of it normally in terms of diamond. However, a diamond was found in the Coldbrook River in County Fermanagh in 1816. A lot of excitement at the time. Nobody quite sure about it, but it was a genuine discovery. And indeed, Viscount Brookeborough very kindly allowed us to see the actual diamond itself. And we're showing it to you there on this slide. And in 1996, another company did some regional sampling, came up with some chromides, which gives the possibility of the kimberlite source rocks being present. Only a possibility. But that, together with examination of geophysics and the fact that it's there underneath our back door, as it were, made us feel, well, let's go and do a proper investigation of it. And that's what we've done, doing detailed heavy mineral stream sediment sampling. And the samples are now being taken and dispatched for analysis in the ODM laboratories in Canada. Chances absolutely against us, but wouldn't we feel very sorry if we didn't actually take a look and make sure and perhaps solve a mystery that's been here for quite a long time. But of course, our main emphasis of my board of directors and myself, and here are the board, who have all people who have either very considerable financial knowledge or very considerable success knowledge and experience in exploration and development of mining projects. It's a pleasure to work with them. And they and us are very excited by what we have, which in summary is the LAHTOIOKI diamond deposit with its pink diamonds and a mining permit awaited, the adjacent diamond potential, and the active exploration program which we have in the KUHMO area, with already the discovery of a green diamond, and with the possibility that this is going to become a new diamond province, and we're certainly in the forefront of that. So thank you very much for your attention. I'm very happy to answer any questions which you might care to ask. Thank you very much indeed.
Why has it taken so long to confirm if the RIIHIVAARA kimberlite is diamondiferous? It was discovered a long time ago.
It was discovered a long time ago, and I'm afraid exploration is very slow, and we have a very large number of targets to follow up. But we have confirmed that by drilling that the RIIHIVAARA kimberlite is in fact a kimberlite by drilling it, and that the kimberlitic indicator minerals indicate that it may well be diamondiferous. It's certainly a very major target of ours, but we have even more pressing targets there. But we're looking to head to a program in which we will be looking at all of the 20+ anomalies which come within our targets in the KUHMO region of Finland. It's a huge opportunity for us. The challenge will be indeed doing it all, and as you rightly say, we'd love to have done more on RIIHIVAARA, and we certainly will be looking forward to working on it.
Okay, thank you. I apologise for not explaining myself very clearly with some of the wording. When would you expect to start seeing the pink diamond revenue realised that will stimulate a significant regrading of your share price?
Well, I think in the industry, as people begin to realise what we've got, the reality of the diamond market situation at the moment is that pink diamonds are literally going up already even before Argyle close. They're going up by 10% every year. Even a small but reasonable pink diamond will set you back probably about $10,000, and a large one could set you back several million, perhaps 3 million. So they're very, very valuable indeed. As I mentioned, the Rio Tinto at its Argyle mine, from 5% pink diamonds, was realizing 50% of its revenue. So we're in a very nice position indeed. It may not yet be recognized in the market, but this sort of recognition tends to come very rapidly when it does arrive. But we're sitting there with a diamond deposit with a significant proportion of pink diamonds in it. And I think people are probably beginning to do the figures themselves. We certainly are.
Okay, thank you. When will the permit for LAHTOJOKI be approved?
It's held up entirely by the COVID situation. Under Finnish law, one key part of it, which relates to the renting and so on of land, must be completed with a public hearing. And unfortunately, with the situation in Finland, and I'm sorry to say it seems to have gone back a little bit in the last couple of weeks, it hasn't so far been feasible for the JUCAS and the Valuation Authority to hold such a public meeting. But that's pretty well the last step that's required. It's very frustrating for us, but as soon as that is held, we're then in a situation in which we have a full mining permit. So sooner the better as far as we're concerned, but it's entirely in the hands of the Finnish authorities.
Okay, got time for a couple more. When and how will you be raising funds for the next stage of your operation?
Well, we're quite comfortable for funds at the moment. I think we're about 400,000 in cash. So we're no immediate hurry to raise funds just now. And you know, we always look at the situation, but we are very comfortable for funds for what is needed at the moment. We'd obviously like to have a very large fund for various purposes, and no doubt we'll be able to raise those funds. We've been able to raise funds so far to keep going and to make these remarkable achievements, but we're not going to spend money foolishly or prematurely, and certainly we can look at other ways of raising funds rather than necessarily going out into the market, particularly in relation to the deposit itself.
Okay, got time for one more, which is quite a long one. What level of market cap company does Karelian Diamond Resources aspire to over the next 3 years? The recent broker coverage document from City Equity did not include any of the Karelian Diamonds exploration in the 12-month target price of 35. They included the last asset that KDR acquired. So what potential value do the company see in the second tier of Karelian Diamonds with the KUHMO region?
Well, obviously, that's a matter, one might almost say, of speculation. We're a tiny company at the moment, but if the sort of figures, indeed your remark there on First Equity, the sort of figures they're doing, if you apply them even on a conservative basis, our share price could be 15 times its present level. You know, shares can go up and they can go down. I've seen, you know, shares go up for 100p, go up then to £7. I've seen other shares go down. So it's not something that one can predict. But the reality is that we have assets which no other diamond company has at this stage. We're not aware of any other comparable state deposit with pink diamonds in it. And we know the demand for them, and that demand isn't been felt. Hasn't been fulfilled. So it's a very strong position to be in. And as well as that, we have the pole position in exploration, and sooner or later, people are going to realize that the Karelian Craton, which is far larger than the Great Slave Craton in Canada, which already you have 3 diamond deposits, our own LAHTOIOKI, the world-class Lomonosov and group types, and we have demonstrated with our exploration now the potential for many other diamond discoveries in Finland. So I think at some stage people are going to take that on board, and when they do, inevitably, in the way these things happen, there'll probably be quite a rush.